How you doing, my loves? I am so excited for all of you with Virgo placements to get this Capricorn season reading. It is going to extend from now, December 21st, 22nd, to January 1st, 22nd. So that's when we have our astrological shifts there for our season. So Capricorn season, since it is also an earth energy, you might find yourself feeling a little bit more at ease this month. But also, I have 3 affirmation cards here, and I'll talk about that in a second. 3 affirmation cards here, so y'all might need a little bit more grounding. So just take a deep breath. Make sure that you are comfortable where you're seated and that you are closed off from any distractions or anything else that would try to pull your attention away. Okay, you can just be here right now. Ready? All right. So instead of doing a start, stop, continue reading this month, I wanted to bring in a somatic practice, a journaling prompt, and affirmations from these wonderful decks that I have so that we can start to round out our spiritual practices and it's not just like something that we're kind of doing all up here. So for our somatic practices, we have the Hack Your Nervous System deck, 60 evidence-based practices to relieve anxiety, reduce stress, and retrain your nervous system. Love those. We have the Super Attractor deck, which is where we're getting our affirmations from. And the Soul Truth Self-Awareness card deck. That's where we're going to get our journaling prompt / meditation prompt from, whatever feels good for you, whatever you like best. I feel like Virgos really are like list makey, so it might be nice to stretch yourself out of that practice and do a meditation, or maybe instead of meditating or journaling, you like repeat the question that I have in front of me here from this Soul Truth Self-Awareness deck into like a drawing or a painting, maybe into a dance or a song or a poem. Something a little bit different for you, Virgo. I'm feeling some like some need for like creative, artistic energy to abound. And I'm also saying this to myself at the same time because I'm a Virgo moon. So like there's so many times when I'm doing these readings and I'm just like, oh, that message is for me too, isn't it? All right, so let's get to turning these cards over. Oh, but first, let me introduce you to who we've got today. We've got the Voyager Tarot, always a good one. And we've got Mood. We've got just one card from Mood Tarot today. And if you're sad that I'm not bringing out the Threads of Fate Oracle deck today, then boo-hoo, I'm very sorry, but you're just going to have to subscribe to my channel so that you can get some Threads of Fate next month, or make sure that you're going and checking out all the other horoscope readings that I did for the month, so you can see if you got one of like the maybe 3 Threads of Fate cards that I've used so far. I mean, I have 3 other horoscopes to do, 3 other signs to do readings for. But so far, I think I've only done 3 cards from the Threads of Fate Oracle deck. So if that usually speaks to you, I feel like there's somebody that I know who typically watches who loves these. If that usually speaks to you and you're kind of sad because you don't get to see them today, well, make sure that you go and check out the other videos so you can get a well-rounded understanding of the messages that are trying to reach you right now. All right? Let's do this, my loves. So, first up, we have the 9 of Cups, the fulfillment card. I'm getting such like juicy feelings from this, and especially from the wine glasses and everything. And I know that these aren't blueberries, but like there are some times where I'm just like, it's just like an abundance of fruit. There's an abundance of fruit, abundance of freshness, abundance of like wine comes from grapes. There's just this juiciness that I'm getting with this card. And cups are about emotional fulfillment. The 9 is, well, and this is the fulfillment card here. The 9 is about sort of coming to the end of a journey, coming to the end of, and starting to understand the situations that you've been managing and processing for a little while now, and starting to see the manifestations that you were hoping for from when you started the journey. So you might have decided to set better boundaries with family a while ago. And now during the holiday season, you're starting to see that come into fruition. And not in like a, oh no, it's raining cats and dogs, like the, karma has come back to bite me kind of way, but in like a really juicy, rewarding kind of way, like, oh, I deserve a glass of wine for this. Like, I deserve to treat myself for how well I treated myself during the process of setting boundaries and making sure that I was doing right by my own instincts, by my own intuition, by my own soul and spirit's needs. Because you have come so far, Virgo babes. Y'all have come so far, and I know it's been hard, and I know that you've seen like the nastiest side of yourself, trying to come through with how all of the like struggles with family and even friends, like people who you've loved and lost over the time, over maybe the past year or two, it just feels like you're coming to the end of a cycle, and the manifestation is going to come through. Like, you're going to get either this influx of new friends, and you're going to immediately trust all of the red flags that you think you're seeing, and just know within an instant, yes to you, yes to you, no to you, no to you, no to you, yes to you, no to you. Like, you're just going to get this like sense of pattern recognition immediately, and you're going to trust it. And you're going to trust it. That's the cute part. That's the juicy part. Or you're going to be maybe willing yourself to go and be around family so that you can give them just a little bit of, talk about raining cats and dogs. It just started raining. That's insane. And it makes perfect sense. You might have like, family gatherings and stuff always happen around this time of year. You might have family gatherings that you've like convinced yourself, that you've like willed yourself to be a part of. And you're realizing like, I can hang out with just the people I want to hang out with there. I can follow them around and stick to them because I'm magnetic to only the people who honor and respect me and who I am. And whenever anybody harshes my vibe, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to get up and leave the room. I'm going to get up and leave the party. I'm going to get up and leave the stage. I'm going to get up and get the fuck out of there, as far out of there as I need to feel good about myself again, and to keep feeling good about myself, because that's what this cup is about. That's what this card is about. The 9 of Cups is like, you are going to see manifested in your reality how emotionally anchored you've been in your own fucking fulfillment, in the filling of your own fucking cup to your liking, not regardless of what anybody else has ever said to you about how much you're allowed to have and to take and to enjoy in your life. You are not going to feel bad about it. And I fucking love that for you. Ah! I love that for you so much. Okay, so screaming aside, we also have the 4 of Wands, which is about spiritual energy. We have the aspiration card here. 4, my mnemonic for that is war. I'll get to that in a second. We have the Ace of Crystals. Crystals in this deck is aligned with swords. If you're familiar with traditional tarot, This is the Brilliance card. The Ace is the beginning of a journey. It's like everything is still possible. Everything is still available to you. And then we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Cups here. Remember how amazing being a child was? And the other one's like, no, they're still kids. Amazing. We have the 6 of Cups. And Cups is about emotional energy. So we've got an emotions card, we have a mental energy card, and we have a spiritual energy card. Now, the 6 of Cups here is kind of tapping into something that Virgos tend to need a lot, which is checking in with their inner child, because Virgos, maybe not more than anybody else, but certainly it's a pattern that I've seen. Virgos tend to have been the people who were parentified and didn't really get to have a childhood. And Cups is about emotional energy. The 6 is about is sort of like a fixing, sort of like a MacGyver energy. Fixing in terms of like not going and getting more so that you can be ready to tackle something or to really handle a situation, but saying, you know what, the situation is upon me. So I'm going to MacGyver this shit. I'm going to take what I have and maybe I'm going to alchemize some of it so that it's more bioavailable to me, so that it's more appropriate for this situation. I'm going to flip some of the things that are in my life so that I can work this situation to my advantage. But it's not going to be just to your advantage, it's going to be to your inner child's advantage. Now, the thing is, Ace of Crystals, when you see the possibilities for how to deal with this situation, it cannot be coming from a place of trying to fight your instincts. It cannot be from a place of trying to fight your inner child. You have to be the adult for the inner child that you wish that you had had. And that doesn't mean putting your inner child out on the front lines and saying, you handle this, because then you're creating another like vulnerable, fragile, scary, traumatizing situation. That is to say, create a safe space for your inner child to tell you what they need. Hold them, love them, protect them, and then know this is what I'm fighting for. That's what that war energy is. 4 of Wands is having purpose, knowing your purpose and feeling conviction. That's where the aspiration comes from. And that's why we've got the fist here. That's why we've got the Statue of Liberty. That's why we've got this energy of like, I'm going to take my power back. And the way that you can do that is by making sure that all of the possibilities that you were thinking about, crystals, this is mental energy here, all of the possibilities that you were looking at are all ones that fit within the category of this heals my inner child. This is what my inner child was saying that they want. And I'm not going to make them decide because they don't always know what's best. And hey, even as a grown up, I don't know what's best either all the time. I know we Virgos like to think that we do, but we don't know what's best all the time. I know that we want to convince ourselves that we know what's best all the time, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're letting other factors rule our lives and we're not giving them enough credit, which is why getting really clear on what you actually want and what your inner child actually needs you to do and how they need you to act on their behalf is going to be so clarifying, and it's going to give you the confidence that you need to show up in your own fulfillment, on behalf of your own fulfillment. And a good question, a good prompt for you to make art about, not just journal about, because that's too easy for you, Virgo. Something for you to make art about is, what are the dominant emotions that run my life? What are those emotions that show up as your grown-up self the most? This is definitely an artistic prompt. Because if you were to tap in to the emotions that you feel consistently, whether it's anxiousness, whether it's sadness, whether it's, I say paranoia. I'm feeling paranoia for some of y'all. Whether it's grief, whichever emotions come up, curiosity, satisfaction, the emotions that come up the most, maybe the top 2 or top 3, they're great for you to like create an image or create like a haiku or create some kind of embodied understanding of how you show up as a grown up who lets that emotion run your life. Because then I guarantee you'll be able to map out where your inner child wants you to be and where your grown up has actually been living. And you'll find that link, you'll find that connection between the two. And it's going to be so beautiful when you get there. You have to put in the work though. You have to take your 5 to 15 to 50 minutes to give yourself time to marinate in this because it's very important that you do. And just to be sure that you have all the support that you need to get into your body for this, here is your somatic practice, Virgo. Child's pose. How about that? I'll read this out loud, but here you can take a screenshot so that you can save this for later. All right, so child's pose. If you don't already know, rest your knees and shins on a padded surface. The distance between the knees can be adjusted based on flexibility and comfort. Your knees can be close in toward your chest, or they can be a little further apart if you like to feel a little bit of a deeper stretch. Sit your hips back toward your heels. Stretch your arms and hands out long onto the surface in front of you, and gently press your forehead down between them. Option: interlace your hands behind your head, palms pressing gently against the base of your skull, and rest your elbows on the floor, which is the image that we were seeing there, and I'll show you again. In either variation, begin long, deep breathing for 1 to 3 minutes. And maybe that's the best pose for you to ask your inner child what they need and what they want, what they not. Maybe that's the best pose to just tell me what you need, tell me what you want, and then get in there, and let them speak to you and let them guide you. I love that. Ooh. All right, so lastly but not leastly, we have 3 affirmation cards here. The first is: my super attractor power comes from how I feel, my faith in love, and the joy I put out. Comes from how I feel. So make sure you know which energies and which emotions are dominating your life. When I'm tuned in to the energy of abundance, I become abundant. And that totally connects with both of these messages, how you have this abundant love for yourself, and when you tune into that, then you have so much more than the people who have denied you love and denied you respect your whole life have to even offer you. And it won't even matter that they don't give it anymore, because you'll be so abundant that you won't even miss the difference. And the other abundance is just looking around and having gratitude for all the people and the resources that are in your life, so that you can take steps toward really living in what your inner child would like to see and aspires to see in your life as a grown up. And finally, believing in spiritual guidance gives me certainty and the freedom to keep dreaming, even when I can't yet see the result. That's one of my favorites, because that totally speaks to the manifestation of following your heart, following your desires, in spite of the fear you might have, in spite of the fear that you might have around what you're manifesting. You might have full faith when you start in your intuition having told you what you need, but until you actually see the results, you might feel a little bit doubtful. You might feel a little bit wishy-washy. You might feel a little ungrateful even for the process of having to do it before you even know if it's worth doing. I totally get it. It's hard to pursue the boundaries that we've set when we can't even know for sure if it's going to create the change that we're hoping for in our lives. But as long as that change is a ripple from us outward, then it's the right ripple. Virgo, I hope that you take this to heart, and people with Virgo placements, I hope that you really take this to heart and really tap into the joy and the gratitude and how far you've come and how much more your inner child trusts you to not be the parent for other people and to be the parent to yourself, to your own inner child, to show up for them. You've been doing such an amazing job, and I'm so proud of you. If nobody's told you yet, I'm so proud of you. You're doing so amazing. I love you so much. If you would like a private reading, the caption has all the links you need. And if you want to get, like I said, more of these horoscope readings, I'm going to do them every single month. So be sure to subscribe so that you never miss them. And if you got something from this video, please be sure to like it so that, the algorithm can fucking do its thing and I can start getting paid. I love you so much. You're deserving of all the love that you desire. And I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Mwah!